the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we're here at Texas Motor Speedway for the A51 Community 125. I am your host for tonight's festivities. My name is KR Stolfus, and I'm here to tell you it is championship night for the eSPEED Sports Stock Car Series. These drivers have battled it out for 4 races. Final race of the night right here to settle it all out. And speaking of settling it all out, let's take a quick look at our points battle. We're currently sitting with a tie at the top of the leaderboard, 160 points to both Presley Sora and Nick Barisi. Chris Carroll only 1 point behind them at 159. Now, if you want to factor in drop weeks, because 1 drop week is allowed, that is going to shake this order up a little bit. Chris Carroll does become your points leader by 3 points over Nathan Jurgensen, who has 150 points here as we're looking at it. So what we are going to do, we're not going to worry about drop weeks. We're going to keep our eye on the prize here, and we are only going to focus on the points that are, let's say, available to us as we see things. But before we can do any of that, we got to get into qualifying mode. The green flag is dropped on the qualifying session. The first one to roll out onto the speedway, that is the 98 of Presley Sora, your points leader coming into this one. Presley using that high side through 3 and 4. As the 98 machine goes on the clock. Sora a little bit loose there coming off the corner. Texas not too friendly to drivers coming off of turn number 2, but Presley Sora holding on to it. He makes his way off of turn number 4. He's going to set his first time lap, the 98 machine, and across the start finish line. Presley Sora coming in with a 30.237. Alex Harris going to top him. Chris Carroll in the 99 machine, all the way from Canada himself. Several drivers from Canada here tonight. As Chris Carroll going to go across the start finish line, and Chris Carroll going to put it on top of the leaderboard with a 29.98. And just like that, Presley Sora coming across the line with a 29.81. So Presley Sora, your pole sitter for the moment. DJ Kinner in the 7 machine, sorry, in the 32 machine. Nathan Jurgensen, someone to keep an eye on for this championship battle. Right now, he finds himself in 9th place. 5-minute qualifying session to do 2 laps. Jason Jackson in the 86. Going to post up a time good enough for 4th place for the moment. Brendan Sheffield moving up into 2nd. Nathan Jurgensen going to post himself up into 2nd. the 35 machine of Bradley Yo. Crossing the start finish line, and he is going to move into 10th place. With that being said, guys, we are going to step away for our national anthems. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineup for the A51 Community 125.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are starting to take to the grid. That can only mean it's time to go through tonight's starting lineup for the A51 Community 125. Your pole sitter, the driver of the 94 machine, turning a 29.805. That is Agnell Phillip. On his outside will be the 98 of Presley Sora. Row number 2 going to be Nathan Jurgensen in the 31 and Brandon Sheffield in the 96. Row number 3, that is the 99 of Chris Carroll and the 74 of Alex Harris. Row number 4 going to be Jason Jackson in the 86 and Edward Kane in the 10 machine. Row number 5 going to be made up of the 66 of Nick Brees and the 71 of Rocky Hartpence. Row number 6, Bradley Yao in the 35, DJ Kinner in the 32 machine on the outside. And now we move on to the next set of drivers. We scroll on up here just a little bit. Billy Davison in the 22 machine and Zachary Markson in the 55. for row number 7. Row number 8 going to be the 83 of Alan Wilson and the 28 of Brian Zimmerman. Row number 9 will be the 51 of Aaron Rodgers and then Brad Ward in the 87. And finally, row number 10 will be the 9 of Lawrence Shaughnessy and the 11 of Robbie Hartpence. As the drivers make their way around, take a quick look at our race info here for championship night in the A51 Community 125. 43 points go to the race winner, no bonus points, and each position is worth 1 point. So 43 to the race winner, 42 to second, 41 to third, so on until you get down to our final position here tonight. As the field all formed up nice and pretty. Pace car down and out of the way as the green flag comes out. We are racing 85 laps in total here tonight. Plus, if we need to, a green-white checker, but here's hoping this thing stays beautiful and pretty and this championship battle gets settled out in a solid way. So, lap number 1, Agnell Phillip down the backstretch into turn number 3. He's got the 31. Nathan Jurgensen already on his back bumper. Presley Sora falling to 4th place very quickly here. Started on the outside, row number 1, and falling back. Top 4 got a breakaway here. The 94 and the 31 really chasing after each other. Is the 31 of Jurgensen going to move into the race lead? So the 31 off to a quick start here. He's going to have to try and win this thing to secure the championship. He lays down a very fast lap, fastest lap of the race so far, 29.84. 4 cars still chasing him. Robbie Hartpence in the 11 missed the call to the grid, but he has joined the racing surface, and he is out there on the speedway. Lawrence Shaughnessy in the 9 on the outside of the 28 of Brian Zimmerman. The 96 of Brandon Sheffield to his inside. Sheffield gonna slide up in front of Zimmerman. Shaughnessy trying to slide down to the inside. Said Zimmerman, I meant Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy in the 9 fighting right back. The 22 machine, that is Billy Davison. Right there with the 28. Chris Carroll in the 99. Sitting in 3rd place, Presley Sora right behind him. Sora was taking a peek to the inside here down the backstretch. Edward Kane in the 10 machine. Right now, Kane finding himself in 6th place. This field got spread out very quickly here. Pit stops anywhere from about lap 55 to 60 when I expect to see these guys coming down pit road. Aaron Rodgers in the 51. 7 laps in, and Rodgers has gained 6 positions. So the 51 machine making his way forward very quickly here. He now finds himself 1 second behind the 71 of Rocky Hartpence. As we go on aboard with Rocky, looking out the back of his stock car, that 71 machine right now holding on to the final spot in the top 10. Zachary Markson and DJ Kenner going at it. The 55 making the move on the inside. The 32 stuck on the outside lane here as Alan Wilson in the 83 going to try and take a peek to the inside here as well. Drivers do have a fixed set of tires. However, the talk amongst everyone was that unless there was a lot of cautions, that would not be a problem here tonight. Fastest lap of the race, a 29.84. Last time around, our race leader doing a 30.4, so fall off not quite there just yet. 0.2 of a second fall off isn't a whole lot, as the 98 of Chris Carroll, or I'm sorry, the 98 of Presley Sora and the 99 of Chris Carroll are going to stack up side by side as they battle down the front stretch across the start finish line. Carroll on the outside lane looks like he's going to take an easy entrance into turn number 1, and that is going to allow Presley Sora to move into third place. Now, I said we wouldn't talk a whole lot about drop weeks because that is going to really change our points lookout, our points discussion. But do keep in mind, as I said, it's very close. If you factor in the drop weeks, Chris Carroll at 125, Nathan Jurgensen at 122, Nick Barisi 122, and Presley Sora at 122. So the top 4 separated by 3 points. And Nathan trying to pull out a win here could put him over the edge, but Chris Carroll would be the next closest one, along with Nick Barisi, Presley Sora, to be right there. So it is an insane points battle for this championship among the top 4. Alex Harris, though, let's not keep him out of the loop, man. Alex Harris comes into tonight finding himself in 6th place if you don't have the drop weeks factored in. Once you factor the drop weeks in, Harris moves into 5th place, sitting only 10 points behind the race leader, or the championship leader. So this thing is absolutely insane. And this is why I enjoy doing the broadcasting. I don't have to figure out anybody's points. I let everyone else do it, and then they just tell me what to say. The 74 of Harris trying to take a peek to the inside of Edward Kane. Both wash up a little bit. Harris has to lift big time. He got off of turn number 2 there. Rocky Hartpence in the 71. Closing in on the back bumper of the 74. Aaron Rodgers on the back bumper of the 86 of Jason Jackson as Jackson heads off into the corner. Chris Carroll in the 99. Falling back a little bit off the 98 here. 66 of Nick Barisi. You can see he's got about a half a straightaway, or roughly 2.3 seconds behind our race leader. We go on board with the 66. Careful entry or exit off of 2 there. You can hear him working the throttle a little bit. So the 66 finding himself in 5th place, enjoying a 1.5 second lead or gap back to Alex Harris. And Alex Harris in that 74, he has got a string of cars behind him. That is the 71 of Rocky Hartpence, the 35 of Bradley Yo, Aaron Rodgers in the 51 machine right there as well, Jason Jackson in the 86, Edward Kane in the 10 machine right behind Jason Jackson. And then it's Brad Ward who's going to make a move to the inside as Kane slips up off the corner there. The 87 of Brad Ward, fellow Canadian driver, moving into 11th spot. 4 drivers being represented by Canada here tonight, or representing Canada tonight. Chris Carroll, Bradley Yo, Brad Ward, and Zachary Markson. The 55 of Markson trying to work over in the 96 of Brandon Sheffield. Sheffield started on the front row, or I'm sorry, outside row number 2, if I remember correctly. Was not having an enjoyable time. Let's take a look at this start by the 96 of Brandon Sheffield. This was in the opening laps. He got loose off the corner, or in the middle of the corner, and everyone blows right on by. Ever since then, he has been trying to work his way forward. And so the 96, after falling all the way back to, I believe, 17th spot, now finding himself back up into 12th. So the 96 trying to dig out of a hole here. Plenty of laps to get it done still. Side by side, we got a battle. That is Alan Wilson in the 83, Lawrence Shaughnessy in the 9. 83 gonna send it in deep into turn number 1. Shaughnessy on the outside lane there. Gonna slide in right behind the 83. Wilson now trying to get by DJ Kenner in the 35. Had to lift a little bit. That's gonna give Shaughnessy the run. And Shaughnessy gets right on by him, and the 83 steps out just a little bit there. Had to catch it. Brian Zimmerman now on his back bumper. And so the 28 of Brian Zimmerman to the inside of Alan Wilson. Side by side, this battle continues, but the 28 of Zimmerman going to take over that spot for the moment. Check back in on our race leaders. It has been a hot minute since we checked at the front of the field. Jurgensen continues the lead. Agnell Phillip sitting in second. Presley Soar in the 98, third place, and Chris Carroll in the 99 sitting in fourth place. Chris Carroll 2.2 seconds off the race lead. And then all the way back to fifth place, that's 6.1 seconds. Nick Barisi in the 66 machine, finding himself last car in the top 5. So he is falling off the pace here a little bit each lap, but long run here could see him make his way back forward as maybe he's holding back a little bit. Pacing himself out. This field has gotten spread out just a little bit. Very close battles though here in amongst these two drivers, the 35 and the 74. The 35 machine makes the move down to the inside. Harris in the 74, going to tuck in right behind him, put Bradley Yo in the 35 up to the 8th spot. Biggest mover of the race, that is the 51 of Aaron Rodgers. He has gained 10 positions since the drop of the green flag, and we are working lap 28 of 85. Rodgers trying to work over the 71 of Rocky Hartpence here. A very short and sweet championship season. 5 races really makes for a ton of pressure on your drivers to put in their best ever every single race, because one bad race could seal the deal. You're toast at that point. We got one driver hitting pit lane. That is the 55 of Markson, and it looks like he has pancaked the right side of that car. Heavy damage on the 55 machine. We'll see if he's going to get out there. Lawrence Shaughnessy in the 9 machine coming down pit road as well. He is torn up. Some damage on these 2 cars here. You got to wonder if maybe they got together. Both cars heavily torn up. Nathan Jurgensen in the 31, who's led all but a few laps here tonight. Agnell Phillip leading the first 2 laps. And it's been all the 31 of Nathan Jurgensen trying to secure a championship. Jurgensen, who last season finished 2nd in the championship battle, liking to improve his position by 1 and bring home a championship trophy. Sora, the defending champion, doing a good job at defending his championship, sitting in 3rd place with a good opportunity here to win a championship. We are creeping up on the halfway mark. Our race leader, Nathan Jurgensen, his best lap being a 29.84. Last time around, he turned a 31.62. We are creeping up on about 2 seconds worth of fall off on our tires. These drivers really going to be thinking about hitting pit road when a caution comes out. If we don't get a caution, you might see them onto pit lane somewhere around the halfway mark. Maybe a few of them will try and carry it deep into the fuel run. As Jurgensen continues to work his way around. Another driver hitting pit lane, that's the 28 of Brian Zimmerman. Zimmerman on the pit road. He will join Zachary Markson and Lawrence Shaughnessy as the drivers who have made pit stops. As Jurgensen makes his way around on the front stretch, the 31 now has 4 cars, 1 lap down. Well, maybe not. Robbie Harpence, I thought, was 1 lap down, but he is on the lead lap. Robbie, last car on the lead lap, as it would appear. So Nathan Jurgensen, your race leader, closing in on some lap traffic here. The 11 machine of Robbie Harpence probably won't put up too much of a battle. Keep in mind, he's got his race to run as well. Robbie is about 10 seconds behind Billy Davison, who is in 16th spot as we ride on board with the driver of the 11 machine. Robbie, with the race leader closing in behind him, has a few options here. He can hold on to his race pace here that he's doing. Don't want to hold the leader up too much though, but he gets on by, try and tuck in, follow his line, do what he does, maybe gain a little bit of information and try and find your way around this 1.5-mile Texas Speedway just that much faster. Chris Carroll is starting to reel in the 99 or the 98 of Presley Sora. Carroll at one time had fallen back quite a bit, but here he is now on the back bumper of the 98. This is going to be a battle for third place. Could be championship implications here. Alex Harris has made his pit stop and gotten back out on the speedway. Rocky Harpence hitting pit lane, as well as Jason Jackson. The green flag pit stops coming up. We're really starting to pick up. And the 31 of Nathan Jurgensen is going to pit from the lead. So Nathan on the pit road. Your race leader with a pit stop underway. Agnell Phillip back to the point in the 94 machine. We'll see how long he's going to stay out. Edward Kane making a pit stop here. And Agnell bringing it on to pit road. The 94 machine down to pit road speed limit, 50 miles an hour. He is on pit road. Aaron Rodgers, Nick Parisi, and a whole bunch more. That is the 96 of Brandon Sheffield, Bradley Yo in the 35, and Brad Ward in the 87, all making pit stops. So now the 31, or I should say the 98 of Presley Sora, your race leader. Chris Carroll in the 99, following right behind him. That is the 74 of Alex Harris, trying to get one of his laps back. Harris has already made a pit stop. As the 98 continues to circle around, Chris Carroll has pulled on the pit road. Billy Davison on the pit road as well. This all but rounds out our green flag pit stops, leaving only the 98 to not hit pit road. And Sora staying out another lap. Maybe Presley Sora going to try and put this field of lap down, hoping for a caution. We are on the downhill side of our laps now. Past the halfway point here in the A51 Community 125 at Texas Motor Speedway. It's a 31 of Jurgensen, going to easily work his way past the 98 and set himself back on the lead lap. Jurgensen, when this cycle is around, would be the race leader. Presley Sora does have third place on back, down one lap. Nathan Jurgensen, the only other car besides our race leader on the lead lap, but you can see Agno Phillip closing in on the back bumper of your race leader. So Sora going to try and stay out of the way here as these faster cars come by. The 98 going to try and play the long game here. The downside is the longer he stays out, the further behind he goes. Now he's kind of set his situation up to where he will be in need of a caution. You don't want to do it just yet. Kind of want to have a few more laps on these fresher tires. .22 of Billy Davison, tucked in behind our race leader. Davison 2 laps off the pace, but trying to get one of those laps back. He's going to take a peek to the inside here. Davison finding himself in 17th spot. Let's check in on our biggest mover of this race. That is the 51 of Aaron Rodgers as he continues his march forward. He now finds himself up 12 positions from where he started. He's sitting in the top 5. Takes a peek down to the inside of Zachary Markson. Markson and Lawrence Shaughnessy didn't have any video of it, but we suspect that they got together as both of them hit pit road. Both of them heavy damage on their race cars. Now they are both paying the price for that as they are off the race pace quite a bit. Markson down 2 laps. Lawrence Shaughnessy appears to be down about 4 laps. Jurgensen sitting in 2nd spot. Last time around, he turned a 30.37. Presley Sora, the race leader, turning a 32.3. Jurgensen lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than the race leader. Speaking of the race leader pulling on the pit road, the 98 calls it quits. His tires have given him all he can. He has hit pit road, did not get that caution he needed. Let's keep in mind, before green flag pit stops happen, this 98 machine was sitting in 3rd spot within eyesight of the race leader. In fact, he was so close, you could say that you could put a blanket under him. But now the 31 regains the race lead. And Presley Sora is just now out of his pit stall and leaving pit lane. Sora falling down the running order. He is going to end up deep in this field as he gets rolling. The good news is his tires are going to be a little bit fresher than everyone else's by about 10 laps. Let's see if that's going to make a difference or not here. But the 31 back to the top spot, trying to pick up 3 wins on the season. Jurgensen winning the first 2 races of the season. Had a very disappointing showing last time out. He is looking to erase that disappointment with a race win. So the 31 finding himself out in front and enjoying a 2.1 second lead over Agnell Phillip in the 94. Then Chris Carroll in the 99, he finds himself 5 seconds in a 3rd spot behind Agnell Phillip in the 94. So a 5.5 second gap here. But then Aaron Rodgers is 5.5 seconds behind him, the 51 machine, sitting in a 4th place now. As Rodgers continues to march his way forward inside the top 5. 13 positions gained since the start of this race. Brad Ward in the 87 machine gaining 10 positions here. Brad Ward finding himself in 8th place. A little bit ahead of Brad Ward, the 96 of Brandon Sheffield. We saw Sheffield in the opening laps of this race get a little loose, get sideways, fall down the running order. Oh, Sheffield now just 3 spots away from where he started this race. A good recovery by the 96, considering that there has been no cautions so far since the drop of the green flag. So Sheffield chasing down Nick Breesy, Rocky Hartpence, as Sheffield can continue his trend here. We'll put him in a very good spot, put him inside the top 5. Now keep in mind, it is championship night. So at the conclusion of the race, the admins are going to get out their calculators. They're going to do the math. I'm going to figure out who our champion is and hopefully get to talk to him. But of course, as always, the eSPEED Demolition Derby following the drop of the checkered flag. That's perfect time to get revenge on a driver who did you dirty, did you wrong. Maybe just someone to pound your head into. Nothing more relaxing than a good old demolition derby. That is at the conclusion of this one. Final demolition derby of the night, or of the season, as well as championship race here. The 32 of DJ Kenner finding himself in 14th spot. Trying to close in on the 83 of Alan Wilson. Wilson in 13th. Just ahead of Wilson, we have Edward Kane and Jason Jackson. Kane in 12th. Working his way to the inside of the wounded Zachary Markson machine. We go on board with Edward Kane. The laps are starting to really wind down. Jurgensen falling into the clutches of Agnell Phillip oh so slowly. Agnell cutting that lead down to 1.3 seconds. Last few laps, that 94 machine has been a few tenths faster as the 55 of Markson on the pit road. And Phillip in the 94 right now being one of the faster cars out on the speedway. Chris Carroll currently being, let's say the second fastest. The fastest car, that is the 98 Presley Sora. He is got those fresher tires. He is putting them to good use. Does find himself 14.5 seconds off the race lead. We got a battle shaping up here, and it looks like that battle is going to cost him a spot. The 66 and the 96 getting together here. That's going to allow the two cars to work right on by. Take a look at this one. The 66 gets sideways. Sheffield tried to avoid him, but washed up to the wall. While all that was going on, the 74 of Alex Harris, big contact on the front stretch. Harris through the grass and gonna smash into the wall there. Big time damage on the 74. He's just gonna pull right into his pit lane. A tough break for the 74. It looked like coming off of turn number 4, a lot of things happening there in about 2 laps. With 17 laps to go in the season, Nathan Jurgensen with a lot up in the air as to how his championship hopes are going to play out. Chris Carroll sitting in third might have just enough to lock up the championship by sitting in third place. Oh man, this one's gonna be too close. I'm not even gonna do the math. I'm serious. I'm gonna let the admins do it, because I couldn't even tell you. I know Jurgensen really gonna have to try and win this one though, with Chris Carroll and Presley Sora sitting third and fourth. So with 15 laps to go, the 31 coming up on a knot of cars for lap traffic. That is the 32 of DJ Kenner. And the 31 navigate this group without contact, and he's going to get into the back bumper of the 32. Kenner, hard impact there, as it looked like the 31 made a move down to the inside at the same time as the 32 tried to get out of his way. A big contact for DJ Kenner. And now the 31 DJ Kenner on the pit road. Nick Barisi in the 66. Brad Ward in the 87. The 35 and Bradley Yo all going at it. Brandon Sheffield in 10th spot in that 96 machine. Four cars running nose to tail, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Alan Wilson in the 83 going a lap down. That's going to give us 12 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, that is the 10 of Edward Kane. It's a 31 working his way through this lap traffic. Good news is it looks like the nose on that 31 has a little bit of damage, but not slowing him down too much, as the last time by he turned a 31.70. Agnell Phillips still closing in on him. 1.2 seconds now for Agnell Phillips to close in on the race leader. We go on board with Phillip. Onto the front stretch we go. 10 more times around. Keep in mind, we'll use one attempt at a green-white checkered if we need to, as these laps start to really get short here. Phillip in the 94 doing a good job of keeping that 31 honest and keeping the pressure on him. The 32 machine of DJ Kenner dropping out of this race. Damage too much for him. He will join Alex Harris in the 74 and the 9 of Lawrence Shaughnessy as drivers out of this one. The 31 of Jurgensen down to the inside of Edward Kane. Kane goes way high, giving plenty of room to the race leader. Tucks back in. Phillip seems to have fallen in, I shouldn't say fallen, but has gotten as close as he can to the back bumper of the 31. Seems to have stalled out at a 1.2 second gap here. Jurgensen has 7 more laps to go. Presley Sora, after a long time out there on those tires, one of the last cars to hit pit lane, rejoined the race almost 15 seconds behind the race leader. He now sits at a 9.5 second gap behind the race leader. Presley Sora is working his way forward, hitting in 4th spot. 3.2 second gap to the 99 at Chris Carroll. And with 6 laps to go, Presley Sora going to need to try and keep his foot in that and close in quickly. Carroll sitting in 3rd, looking like maybe he's got the championship with a 3rd place finish. Like I said, I'm just doing math on the fly here. I'm not factoring in a whole lot of things. But Chris Carroll, with 1 race win and 2 3rd place finishes, really puts himself in a very, very good position for this race or championship win. And Nathan Jurgensen doing all he can to make sure he leaves nothing on the table. So with 4 laps to go, Agnell Phillip now has turned on the afterburners. That 1.2 second gap has disappeared. He finds himself inching very close to the back bumper of our race leader, Phillip. Closing in. Jurgensen, the car ahead with 3 laps to go. Can Phillip close these final 0.7 of a second and then make a pass? He's gonna have to do it quickly because this one almost over. The fat lady, she's got her glass of water, she's backstage, she's ready to start singing. 2 more times around, 3 more miles left in the season. Phillip inching just that much closer. Nathan Jurgensen in the 31 trying to put his name into the championship hat. Chris Carroll still holding on to 3rd. Presley Sora 3 seconds behind the 99 of Carroll as the white flag comes out. Final time around here for our eSPEED Sport Stock Car Series. This race has been green flagged the entire time, and the 31 has been out front for most of it. Phillip now just a half second behind, but the 31 looking to come off of turn number 4. Can the 31 win the race and the championship, as Nathan Jurgensen is going to pick up the race win? Agnell Phillip in the 94 brings it home in second. Chris Carroll third. Presley Sora going to end up fourth. Aaron Rodgers crossing the line in fifth. Here comes Brad Ward, Bradley Yo. Brad Ward in sixth, seventh going to Bradley Yo. Eighth place, Rocky Hartpins. Ninth goes to Nick Parisi. Brandon Sheffield going to finish in 10th, and Jason Jackson, final car on the lead lap, brings it home in 11th. As we take a look at our results here, Edward Kane, Alan Wilson, Brian Zimmerman, Robbie Hartpins, Billy Davison, Zachary Markson, and then DJ Kenner, Alex Harris, and Lawrence Shaughnessy. 20 cars taking the green flag here tonight. 11 of them finishing on the lead lap. We get ready for our Demolition Derby. Several cars pulling on to pit road. The 31 and the 99 sitting nose to tail, as this one is going to be very close. Jurgensen is the race winner, that's for sure. A little bit of battle here on the front stretch. And we are patiently waiting for one of our drivers to maybe get up in the booth and talk to us. Also waiting to hear from our admins as to who is our championship winner. As the cars get ready for the Demolition Derby. One car whizzing by at full speed there. That is Edward Kane. Brian Zimmerman also scooting on by. So I'm assuming that means the Demolition Derby getting underway here. On the backstretch is where all the action is taking place, and it is absolute carnage. Sheffield in the 96, just trying to kill the 31 of Jurgensen. Chris Carroll in the 99 making his way around. Maybe he's going to have a full head of steam here to run into somebody. And he does. He's going to go head on with the 51 of Rogers. And the results are in. Chris Carroll is the champion by 1 point over Nathan Jurgensen. Jurgensen wounded on the backstretch. Rogers just playing dirty with these guys. Get a full head of steam there. As Edward Kane turns into a turtle, but he keeps rolling, and he's gonna land it. Well, let's go ahead and kick this off by talking to, well, let's start by talking to our race winner, and that is the 31 of Nathan Jurgensen. Nathan, you got your ears on, bud?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. And man, congratulations on the race win. 3 wins on the season. Solid season effort here tonight.
Yeah, man, these were good races. Dover, where we at? Chicago, and here, these were all really good races, and just kind of unfortunately got into some trouble there at Talladega and Five Flags, and so didn't have a chance there at the championship. But I'm really happy my teammate Chris Carroll won the championship, so congrats to him. And Talladega, I was trying to push him to the win, and I ended up wrecking both of us, and so I felt really bad about that. And man, if that cost him a championship, I was gonna feel bad. So I'm really happy that he won that. And man, we had a really good race, clean race out there today. And also want to shout out Agnell Phillip. He was right there on me the entire race, so that was my job. The whole race was just try to manage that gap between me and him.
He did a good job leading a majority of this race, but coming up 1 point short on the season. 3 races, not good enough. As you said, a little bit of trouble at Talladega, Five Flags, man, but a teammate getting it done in the championship. Any other shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give here for the last time this season?
Hey, to you, man. Great job broadcasting this. It's always really cool to listen to you and listen back to these races. To Rocky, Harpence for putting this on, everybody, all the ESS crew, and obviously A51 on my hood, all my A51 teammates.
All right, man. Once again, nice job on picking up the race win here tonight.
Take care.
And now we move on to our champ, none other than the driver of the 99. That is Chris Carroll, man. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you, KR. It has been a long, tough season with all these guys. They're all so damn good. I feel pretty fortunate to get through there.
Well, 1 point is going to seal the deal for you. You pick up the championship by virtue of, it would appear, never finishing less than 3rd when you factor in your drop week.
Hey, you can't complain there. All these guys are fast, so that's pretty damn good. I'm not going to complain about that one.
Well, man, an outstanding season for you. You pick up the championship. 1 win on the season, 3 third places, if I can do some quick math. And man, what's your secret?
I try and keep this car clean. This is probably my worst car in the sim. I absolutely hate this car, the way it drives, but it sure is fun to come out here and race with these guys, and just got to keep the car clean, man.
Well, again, man, a solid season effort, finding yourself standing over everyone, the king of the hill, if you will. Any shout outs or thank yous that you'd like to give for this championship win?
I got lots of shout outs and thank yous to all the fans at A51, all those guys out there watching, having fun watching the broadcast, and really proud to represent A51 Pro. Those guys are the best in the business, and they always give us good stuff. And just like to thank you and Rocky and all the guys with Rocky. I can't name them all out, Edward and all those guys that help him do this series and give us a place to race. It's really cool to just get out here and run with these guys. They're all so fast. They're all super cool, and it's a win-win for everybody all the way around the board.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on the championship. Nice job. And we're going to see you next season.
Oh yeah, you got to come out here to support Rocky and the boys and go at it with Jurgensen and Brookfield and all them guys, and they all show up at anytime you can squeak out a point on any one of those guys, it's a good day. They're all so good. So you will see me back and having fun with these guys.
All right, man. Well, nice job, and we look forward to seeing you next season as well.
Thank you, sir. Shout out to Agnell Phillip and his run tonight. He whooped up on me, so thank you, Care.
You're welcome. That was your championship winner, Chris Carroll, driver of the 99 machine, picking up his championship here tonight at Texas by 1 point over Nathan Jurgensen. So with that being said, guys, the schedule not on my desk just yet, but you can bet that eSPEED Sport Stock Car Series will be returning soon here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So until I see y'all, and y'all stay safe, have a good time, and I look forward to the next time we meet.